We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's going to make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome one final time to the Curling Zone and Curling Stadium Martensville. Live coverage of the Aly Jenkins Mixed Doubles Memorial. We are down to the finals, just two teams left. Nancy Martin and Steve Laycock out of Saskatoon will be playing the Japanese pairing of Tori, Koana, and Aoki. My name's Shawn Joyce. I'm joined for this final by David Wills. David, you had a chance to watch the semifinal that went down to the extra end.
I did. I was watching, I guess, the last half of it or so, primarily trying to just see where they were in terms of winners of the games and who would be moving on to the final. Knowing I was going to be joining you for this, I was curious about who the people would be. So I watched both of them just a little bit.
Well, for Martin and Laycock, they come into this game undefeated so far this weekend. They were 4-0 in the round robin play. They won the two today. And that gives them last rock here in the final. The pairing of Koana and Aoki were 3-1 through round robin play, and of course a 1-2 today. The one that they did lose back in draw 5 on Friday night to Martin and Laycock. So it's either going to be revenge or domination. That's what we're looking at here.
Yeah, we're seeing a number of times these weekends, because the pools aren't necessarily playing purely against each other, where you often have teams playing playoff games against each other after having played in the round robin. So you're right, it can end up being a revenge game to some extent.
First stone on the top corner of the button, Nancy Martin coming down. Looks like trying to move that stone.
Plenty of weight coming down, and she knows if she gives it a bit of a bump, there's not much harm, especially since it won't end up out of the house. Terrific start. There's definitely some options here for our Japanese competitors right now, but the mixed doubles game is always an interesting one in the first 3 or 4 rocks, getting things sort of set up and lots of taps and moving things gently around the forefoot.
This Japanese pairing, also one of the few that you will see where the male player, Aoki, actually throws 1 and 5. Tori throws 2, 3, and 4. And I mentioned this in one of the previous broadcasts. Had a chance to do some of their games last week from Vernon as well. And Tori herself has an unusual setup on her out turn where she actually sets like an in turn and takes her counter after she leaves the hacks. But she's very effective with it.
She's got incredible confidence in her accuracy. The other thing they have to watch out for is how and when the rock starts to really curl toward the end of its trip. I noticed in the previous game she had a number of shots that looked really, really nice, but then as they hit the hog line, they started to really, really bend. And thankfully they know that, but Go had to be really quick with his broom a couple of times in order to keep the shots on line. Good chance for Martin and Laycock to drop another one right on the button. Put a stranglehold on this situation.
Certainly, and with last rock, chance to score perhaps a big end and opening things up. Not going to get by the front one. They definitely don't want to leave it overlapped. It does get a chip off just a little bit.
A little bit of daylight coming around on the intern side now for Go and Tori, and see if they can put a good rock in place to help save this situation.
I don't know. How much have you had a chance to watch this weekend, David?
Probably this will be the 5th game I've either watched or called for this particular event.
Because I was going to say, you could probably still get to the face of that blue around the outturn on this ice right now.
Actually, yeah, you're right.
It won't look great from the hacks, but you can get there, yeah.
I think if it's necessary, but if you have the choice.
Oh, for sure.
It seems to me this does look like it's miles out there, but you're right. It does finish really well. And a lovely freeze right onto the nose. Very, very nice.
Yeah, and now if Martin and Laycock even want to score, they might have to move some guards.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to take 2 rocks to get that red out of there.
I think you're right. Or maybe a run back if you're lucky to clip something in the forefoot. But I think you're right.
The problem with the run is the most direct run is a red, and if you stuff it, you're in more trouble. If you play the blue one and don't make contact with the one on the button, it's still guarded.
It's going to be interesting to see. They definitely have to try and move something. I think even if they just move things around a little bit by coming down and bumping. So this is the model where we have one player in the house holding a broom and the other one throwing the rock and then popping up to sweep.
Yeah, we've seen that a fair bit on some of the upweight shots, which surprises me a little, only in that it's really hard to catch up to your own rock to sweep it. But I do understand it's easier to call line from in the house. You call line from behind, and we all think we can do it. We've all done it. But it's much easier to call a line from in the house. Steve looking to hit the blue one first, come across the top of the red, and try to spin out of the way. This is going to be pretty close to right in the middle, though. Gets a little bit of action on the shooter.
There was a bit of a spin out, you're right, but not a whole lot. It's a little bit more open.
Well, and really, though, it's if you want to pick right and wrong side, it's open from the wrong side for them to do anything with it. If you had the guard that much on the other side, you might be able to blast that red out of there.
So what does that leave them now? Do they come down and try and glue another one right on the top? Another freeze to the nose of their own red, or will they leave something higher to sort of act as a guard?
That's the $64,000 question. Actually, with inflation, it's probably worth more than that now. But you could glue it right on. If it was last rock, I'd be certain they were going to glue it right on.
Well, if they can put it right straight on the nose, it's actually a very effective shot. But it's a question of how aggressive they want to be.
Well, and you glue it right on the nose, you know that Steve's going to try to throw it as hard as he can. And with as lively as these rocks are, he might be able to get a bit of a splash on all of them and at least get it off the pinhole. That's a pretty good spot right there.
Yeah, it takes away the blue run back. Okay. So they either have to come around and try and move the red that's on the button, even if they hit it sideways.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere. You could double peel the guards. You could still try that, even if it comes into the house.
Blue into red, red straight back.
Yeah. And I mean, that could work out very badly, but it's the only way you're going to create room to score.
That's right. And it looks like based on where the broom is, that's what Steve's doing. He's going to throw some serious weight here and try and run things straight back. Okay.
Might have overcurled again.
Okay.
Moves a lot of rocks, but still that one on the button shot rock. Yeah,
and I was going to say there's still a guard out front, although it is definitely now not really covering anything.
No, you could probably get to half a rock now, kind of, if with big weight, and Nancy can throw big weight. You could rattle between the two reds. You'll lose one blue one, but there still could be a shot for two there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if Aoki can freeze right to the face, I don't see that red one going anywhere.
Yep, I'm with you. And I think you're right. That's the plan. This is their last rock, so just a little bit on the right side of center, and then let Nancy try and see what happens.
Now, interesting here in that I'm just looking at the blue one at the back of the button. And do you not think, David, I think to sit two, you'd actually have to move the blue one a little bit, which, I mean, there's a couple of inches before it jams in the back one, so you could.
Mm-hmm.
But
no,
here's
I think
the
you're
thing.
right. Yep.
If you just freeze and you're sitting one, I think
Yep.
Nancy just probably throws hers away and gives you one.
I think you're right.
If you want to make them throw it, you probably have to sit two.
Yeah, compared to last weekend's games, the lines they're taking just seem so wide. Wow.
Line is good coming in. Now, is he going to have enough to move it?
Nope.
Nope.
It's close. Boy, oh boy.
Now we see if Ryan's listening enough to zoom in. Oh, it's real close.
Yeah. Boy, oh boy. I don't know if I would want to make the call.
Well, here's the thing.
You're right.
If
it's too red, then you're right. Then they need to make a play on it. But if it's only one, then they can technically just give away a steal of one. And
Steve tapped the blue.
Mm-hmm.
But then he's still looking at playing the double on the reds. Like that middle red is not going anywhere now.
You're right. And Nancy's double checking because she's checking the little white border around the ring as a gauge. So I think she feels that they have to make a play on this red.
These stones are really lively now. If you hit it as thin as you possibly can, boy, it doesn't look like you can hit it that thin on the outturn side. The guard is still kind of in the way for the outturn.
Mm-hmm.
If you can hit it really thin, you might get that middle one to drag a little bit and spin because the blue rock's not going very far.
No, you're right. Well, it's a nice situation to be in if you're red.
Yeah.
Now, Nancy's got to throw with all her might. I think the more energy you can put into this shot, the better chances you have of trying to get reds far away.
Got the big weight, got a lot of rotation. Still on the guard, I believe.
Yep, just set it a little bit on her release.
It'll be one for sure, and I wouldn't be surprised to see the measuring stick come out.
Mm-hmm, I'm with you. Boy, oh boy. Oh.
Well, Aoki says it's just the one.
Wow. That was very nice of him. I don't know if I would have been that kind. Very good. All
Especially
right.
when they're the ones that played the extra end. So it's 1-0 for Koana and Aoki. Martin and Laycock with last rock again in the second.
Handcraft to join the revolution.
Don't forget your brooms.
Yep, you got it.
Come on up. Well, what do you got? You got one, you got two,
Just one more throw, please.
You make moments like these possible.
And the Japanese pair basically just gave up the point pretty much without any conversation. So it worked out in the end.
Yeah.
All right.
Still talking about how we're a little surprised they didn't measure that last one, but it does go on as a single point for Koana and Aoki. They've got the lead.
Mm-hmm.
They make the corner freeze on the first stone.
It's a good start. She has been very, very consistent with... That was with the Japanese team. The male player is throwing the first rock, but they've been incredibly good with their start. And at this level, it's one of the things I love seeing in mixed doubles is the players' ability and understanding of the importance of getting that first rock, or even the first 2 or 3, frankly, into good positions.
That little bit of a bump off, they did give Nancy room if she's got the weight to try to pass it by the blue one. That's always half the battle, right, for these teams with last rock is how and when do you make more room in the forefoot to try to score your extra points. Gets down to the corner.
So they'll come down again and try and jiggle it. And these are all, in a sense, setup rocks, so that when we get to the ones toward the end, we have opportunities to move things and sit into good spots. The ones behind are the interesting ones for me. I don't know if you ever have done lawn bowling, but my significant other is an avid lawn bowler, and sometimes they will throw it behind the target. And I always say, why are you throwing it behind? Don't you put it in front? And they said, no, because somebody will come along and knock the target ball, called the Jacques, back into those rocks or those bowls, and then they got a great spot. So I started paying more attention to the behind rocks.
I have seen that a few times. I played lawn bowling a couple of times. But the one thing I will say is I've never seen anybody be able to knock the button back in curling games. So
no, nobody can move the button.
Yeah,
but having that,
you'd like to sometimes.
Sometimes the backstop rocks. It's funny how they'll say, well, like last end you were saying, well, that rock's not going anywhere because literally there's a rock right behind it, so it can't get out of there. And I always find it interesting to see what's behind the tee line as opposed to what's in front. Pretty good shots so far. Red is in a nice position to tap themselves up if they have a chance. It depends on which handle or which turn Nancy and Steve decide to use. In turn coming.
Yeah, and kind of to what you were just talking about, this is where it makes things interesting. The team with last rock would like to move these rocks as early as they can. They need some room. But here already, we're in a spot where Steve's going to have a hard time moving that red. He can put it onto the red right behind it, or he can chip it thin to try to get it wide. The problem then is he rolls behind the tee line as well. So you have to make a decision. Which is more important? Get a good spot for your rock or get this rock out of the button area? And you don't have a lot of time. There's only 5 thrown rocks to set things up.
Yeah, I think they're trying to get by the red rock. But now they're right up to the face. Okay.
I don't think that was in the playbook on that particular one.
No. That was supposed to come around and back, snuggle right into the pocket. The interesting thing is for the Japanese team now throwing the blue rocks the red rocks, is they're trying to figure out which blue to key on, and that's smart because the one in front, the top part of the forefoot, is as dangerous as the one behind, even though the one behind is closer to the pin. It's going to be interesting to see how they manage this. Each one of them seemed to have a different idea about where the destination was supposed to be. They don't talk much, interestingly. They seem to just sort of symbolize or point with their brooms, exchange just a few words.
Plenty of room early, but it has to have. This looks like it might be a little strong, though. Has to get by the blue one. No, it's not strong either. That sits right on the face of the blue with the back of the button.
That's
Aoki sitting 2 now.
Yeah. In basic terms, it looks absolutely lovely, but I'm just a little worried that it's possible for them to play a high weight double by just playing the outside of the red. I'm not sure if it's possible or not, but it's close.
You can get a lot of rocks moving, but yeah, in fact, it's possible that 5 of them are moving. Whether or not they all leave the rings or not is another question.
Especially with Steve throwing, he can certainly.
Yeah.
It looks as if that's what they're doing. Must have hit the outside roughly, I guess, a quarter of a rock or so. And I think we'll lose at least 2 reds and probably at least, well, the shooter and 1 blue too. Things are going to be cleaned up if he makes this on target.
Yeah, the direction it drags, I think he loses both blues, but he won't mind losing the backing. The problem is it cuts down how many he can count. Oh, dead stuffed the second one. That worked out okay for him.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting 2. And actually where that red stopped at the edge of the 12-foot, it probably prevents Aoki from being able to play the double. One more look at it.
Mm-hmm. Another look, it was funny. I think Nancy was anticipating a lot more curl. And then partway down, she said, okay, no, we're good, because I think it ended up being so heavy that it held its line much better than they expected. Nice shot.
Yeah, there's probably a slash double available on the blues. The problem is that red at the edge of the 8-foot is probably a catcher for the one coming across the face. So I think likely playing the same draw here. She just threw, freeze to the blue one again.
I think so. I mean, the only other option is to tap it through the house and then a little flip over in front of their own red, which wouldn't be a bad thing either. That would be you remove a blue, but the blue is just backing at this point, so needs to curl a whole bunch.
Well, if her weight's right, it will. And it is, and it did.
Wow. Very, very nice. And they obviously know this ice well. It's impressive, the confidence that they're throwing when they're throwing these great big wide swinging shots. It's really very impressive. Well, Nancy?
Steve first. He's got 1 left.
No, they're just
Their
sharing
first,
their theories.
Yeah, their first thought seemed to be to play the red with some weight again, and maybe you could almost triple them if you hit the first one thin enough. The problem is you're likely losing your own blue at the back. You'd really have to flirt with the guard to hit it at all.
Yeah, you need to play a fairly conservative weight.
So they're going to play the blue at the top of the 4-foot into the shot stone.
Yep. So they
can get shot rock out of this, but second and third will still be Koana and Aoki. Got tons of room by the front one. This has got a lot of weight.
Oh, it fell.
Well, I thought they were playing just tap draw. He's got pretty close to hack weight on that.
I think she was anticipating more curl than actually happened, because she was having him sweep to bring it into the exact spot, and then as we heard her sort of say, oh no, it's just not moving the way they anticipated. So now we are down to the final red rock, and then blue again with the hammer has 1 more.
And I didn't see them gesture what they wanted to play. Certainly, you could just play the guard, but if you could get to the inside of that blue, maybe chisel off of it a little bit, you might be able to sit 2. Still basically just draw weight. You can't throw it hard.
Yeah.
This looks like he's trying to come right in.
Yeah, maybe hit the inside of the blue, bump and just flip over into the center. Oh, this is a guard.
He's too late for that, yeah. Just gets the guard on it.
So there is room to come the other way for them to come down and sit on the button, but they'll get 1 at most. Looks like they're talking about trying to hit. But wow, there's not a lot of blue rock visible.
Yeah, and it's never for two either.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You could see on the close-up before they left the house, it's the pinhole
Mm-hmm.
is available, but you'll have to come right down to the corner of that red stone. If she's got the weight to move it, the red stone's not going very far either, so you'll have to be really mindful of not rolling too far with the shooter. You can do it as long as you get close to everything you can see of it, but if you're ever thin on it, you'd roll too far. This has got to be cold draw. Nancy Martin, final stone of the second end, trailing by one, facing one, has the pinhole available to draw to.
Steve seems worried about the weight.
Looks like Steve's right. Comes up short. It's going to be another steal of one. Koana and Aoki with a 2-0 lead after 2 ends of play here in this all-important doubles final. We'll be back with third end action right after this.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Third end already underway. Here is the first stone. Go Aoki, bringing it into rest right on the face of that pre-positioned stone at the back of the forefoot.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely beautiful. Both line and weight control with this team. They've really been impressive. I'm going to be honest and say, I mean, I've been watching international teams quite a bit in the last 2 or 3 years. I don't remember seeing them before this season. The other Matsumoto Tanida team that is also playing in this event, I've seen them before. And I just wonder, do we even know who is the reigning mixed doubles champion in Japan? Is this the current champion, or is the other team, or do we even know who it is?
You know, I don't know that. And to the point you were making, I was actually wondering myself, when you got two teams like this coming out of the same country that are playing so well, I wonder, do they train together, or is there a rivalry where they, and I don't know the answer to that either, but it was a question that came to my mind. They certainly could help each other get better.
Yeah. Well, I've spent time sort of living and working in Japan many, many years ago, and I find that they're very, very fierce competitors. I mean, they're very happy competitors. They're polite and respectful competitors, but they definitely will always try to do their very best. And there's no sort of, I don't think there's as much of a supportive style to the play between the teams. I think the other Japanese team would be happy to be in the final against them rather than watching from behind the glass. So.
They'd especially be happy because they played each other in the semifinals. So it meant they already lost to them. But
to extra end, yeah. Wow.
When you've only got two teams, and I don't know, maybe there's a few more on the doubles. These are the two that I've seen more of. If you're the only two teams coming out of that region, there's an argument to be made that you can help each other get better. But yes, at the end of the day, you're going to have to play against each other for that national title. And
if you have training centers in a given part of the world, they tend to all sort of work together or train at the same place together, especially if you have a centralized program with a key coach. But it's not, there's no way to be sure.
Yeah.
I just know that particularly Tori she stands out to me as someone who's playing with incredible confidence. And I keep asking myself, how come I haven't seen her? I even find that you often see 4-player teams that are famous. And then you'll see mixed doubles teams where one or both are sort of cast-offs or spin-offs, if you will, from the 4-player teams. But I don't know where I've seen either of these curlers. I'm thrilled that they're doing so well. They're wonderful to watch, but it is a bit of a mystery for me.
A little bit of a spill off with that last shot, so it leaves room for Steve Laycock to try to get in and perhaps sit 2 here, or at least set up a way to sit 2. He's going to have to move the back one at some point in time if he's ever going to get the second point.
Mm-hmm.
This is really curling hard. By the guard, not going to get by the red one in the rings. That actually works out for them, though. It gives them a rock he can come off of to kill that stone at the back button.
Yeah. I think they've left Go and Tori with a chance to throw some weight and try and move both blues.
I don't see them getting by the reds. I think the 2 reds go if you play that. Well, the one at the back of the button probably jams, but that blue stone on the button is not leaving the 4-foot.
Yes, you're right. Well, the only other option is to just add another one to the pile.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're going to look at. You might want to just chisel the one that Steve Laycock just threw, and you'd have a bit of a wall at the tee line. This one they're about to throw, there's probably not enough rocks left in the end to get it out of the 4-foot if you make that.
The one thing these two never seem to do is sort of touch a broom or even indicate where they think the line is. Like they know what they want to do. They know the shot, but they don't ever seem to sort of touch the ice at an aim point or a target. Interesting.
I don't know, David. For some of us, that'd be the best part about doubles, is nobody knows whether I've missed the broom or not because I don't know
That's true.
where it was. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, I missed that. So another hit the broom every time. Yeah.
Gets the little tap, and it actually chiseled the blue shot stone, I think, just a little bit, enough now that I'm not sure you could make the double on the back reds. Like, I don't think you'd ever get by the blue stone now.
This is interesting. Blues should be happy to have that one sort of nestled in the center, but then how do we add do we add more points without giving the other team opportunities?
That's the problem, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, you can just draw right onto the corner of the blue, but then that gives them a target.
Yeah, they hit that on the corner. The one blue goes. The other one probably stays.
And that red flipped right in underneath the center guard to the point where it's hard to even get at it. Wow. From the view down the ice, it's incredible that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rocks are in a pretty much dead straight line. Speaks to the precision of the players. It's amazing.
Well, I couldn't hear all of what they were saying, but they've considered, plan A, plan B. So Nancy in the house will be calling the line here.
Yeah, Nancy had her broom almost at the edge of the 12-foot. So we're looking at a draw shot where they just want to come right in. and sit.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Wow. I think they're thinking they can come down and tap the red back straight into the blue, which they could, but can they get to the nose?
Oh, for sure they can on the outturn. The thing is, all they're looking at to move it is to try to cut down the house. So here's the thing. If you play that, look at where the blue-red are after the one that Steve just threw. They're overlapped. Do you want to change that? Like, you can't tap that blue up now. It's the red's behind it.
That's right. Yeah.
The only shot that Koana and Aoki have to make anything of theirs better is the tap on the red, but then they might leave room to tap the blue. A little cat and mouse here. Aoki coming down from that side. I wonder, are they looking at the guard? Well, he's sweeping like this is going to be an outturn. He's on the outturn side to sweep. You can never tell from Koana's set. So they are coming down. You have to think probably going to try to tap their own stone, though. This is really curling early, though. Wow, when that started moving early, I didn't think there was any chance they were getting it by the front. Maybe a little strong.
Well, it didn't hurt the point you made about the red and the blue at the top of the forefoot. I still think that blue is not usable.
Oh,
they
sure.
They can hit into the red, but then I don't know that it's going to outcount the blue at the back.
I know what you mean. Depends on whether it dead stuffs or if it spins a little bit. You could, if you could get close to the nose on the blue, it'll spin back towards a corner freeze on that one on the side, the red on the side of the forefoot.
This is great. One of the things about mixed doubles that you just love. How many rocks in play? All of them in the 8-foot, most of them in the 4-foot, 2 of them on the button. It's just great.
Here's the one thing that I'm not sure always gets considered enough in doubles. Steve's worried about what he could make here, and he could make the shot I just talked about. But if you make that, does Aoki have the tap on the red that was just thrown into a freeze, and maybe you can't score at all if he makes that?
That's right. It's what can you make and what are you going to leave?
What are you going to leave?
Here we go. This is a shot we just mentioned. Okay.
So they made it.
Now tap in.
But if they tap that to frozen, can you even score?
Yeah. Frozen or even a hair flopped over on an angle so that it's right between the two blues.
Yeah.
That'd be lovely and almost impossible to remedy. 5 blues and 4 reds.
And somebody's probably going to score 1.
Well, they were quick to decide, so there wasn't much. Actually, in a sense, it's a repeat of the last shot.
Yeah, it's not a hard one to call. You know, they could almost, if they're too thin on the red, it could chisel the blue that was just thrown and still come back, and they might not even have the slash then. So he's got a couple of ways he can make this.
They have to be careful because it's a different curler throwing this one from the one before, so they need to be careful. Line's good. Boom. What a shot. Absolutely lovely.
Red onto red and hope it comes off the back of the other red. That's all I'm seeing. One more look at this one.
What a beautiful shot. It's really impressive. That was the first one was thrown by her and the second one was thrown by him. And they both made absolutely lovely shots with the right weight and the right line. I don't know. Is there an in off of the red to come across. I don't know if it's there.
Maybe to kill the blue.
Yeah.
I think they're looking at the straight back on the red that was just thrown, try to clip the red, and you'd have to hope it would come off the back of that red at the side. I mean, even if you stuffed it into that one, you might get one. But if you could bring it off the back of that, it might be good for two. The blue at the top of the 4-foot does look like it's beating the red at the back.
Yep.
So if you can make the triple, and that's the thing, it's hard to say. It doesn't look to me like there's enough room between the red and the blue.
Angle raise on the blue up at the top of the house in the 8-foot. You know,
yeah, maybe there's
with weight.
There's some risk throwing some weight over there. Yeah,
yeah, but there's a
if you ever
there's a very very small window.
Yeah.
It's hard to be a team where you're playing quite well, but the other team just seems to make everything, and so you're sort of standing there going, "What now? What do we have to do?"
I'm not 100% sure what they've settled on here either.
No, I'm not.
We'll see when I'll have an idea when she sets up in the axe. Well, it looks like she's throwing the out turn, but it looks like she's throwing it at the in-turn side of the sheet. No, she is throwing the double on the reds. Oh boy, if you hit this thin, it could be a disaster.
No. Well, it's not a bad try.
It got away with it. Any thinner though, and it touches the blue at the top.
One red.
Could have dragged. It could have been worse. It's just one, stealing 1 point at a time. Koana and Aoki have now taken a 3-point lead after 3 ends of play. Martin and Laycock still with last rock, and I wonder if we might not see the power play when we come back.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Saskatchewan, you know SaskTel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With SaskTel sponsorships,
It is the power play here as we begin play in the 4th end, and the shot you've seen so often in doubles that's actually made its way into 4-player curling is trying to push the corner guard into the rings.
Yep, anywhere to the rings or even through the rings, but you hope it won't hit the bumper.
Steve Laycock desperately wanted it to hit the bumper, couldn't get it that far, and of course everybody was watching that rock. Nobody saw the shooter.
We can watch now.
We can tell you it hit the board, but
yeah, it definitely hit the board.
I'm in Saskatoon, and I don't know where you are, David. They can't really ask us.
No, but the replay, I don't know, I guess the replay guy, but it definitely did. Yeah. I think they figured it out.
Yeah.
Steve is smart enough to realize based on where that other rock went, there's no chance it didn't. And good for them. What a lovely shot. Bit lucky because it's another couple inches and they'd have to replace it. But
yeah, it was probably a little more weight than he intended to throw, but it works out. Nancy looking to guard the stone in the rings now.
They haven't updated the score on our screen. I think it's 3-0 now, right?
It is 3-0 for Koana and Aoki as we play here in the 4th end.
Guards back. Pretty good spot for the guard, almost the same as it was.
I saw a similar shot to that in the power play in the last game, and I just throw this out there as as an option, for teams when they're playing in this situation. She didn't actually have to throw the guard there. She could have come right in. They still can't hit. The doubles, a little different than the 4-player curling. It's not just a free guard zone. You can't hit anything until after there are 5 stones in play.
That's right.
So you could have brought that one right in and then guarded 2 of them with the next one. If you make the guard too good, my concern with it is they're going to come around and try to sit on the corner. And if they make that, you're in a little trouble.
I'm a fan of the replacement of the guard, but have the guard, if you can manage it, just bite the top of the 12-foot. So that it technically is on the rings, but
do
it's
both.
still trying.
Chips the guard.
Good shot.
That's a great shot. Got everything out of that one. And again, that was still the 5th rock of the end. Could not remove that guard from play. Just pushed it over to the side. Gets her shooter into the rings for shot rock. Now we're almost to the point of it's like regular curling and so much for your power play.
Well, they hit and even just hit the nose. They lie 2, and it's pretty hard to make a double. So the chance of making a 2, which is in theory what you're supposed to be able to do on a power play,
well, they're
still
throwing
exists.
the guard though.
Oh, they're throwing the guard again.
I know what you're talking about. I also know what they're thinking in that at times you think about, well, we're only on the 3rd stone at the end. It's hard to hold a deuce for that long, but the 3rd stone at the end in doubles means there's only 2 more to come.
But the thing is, now they can throw the guard if they want, but it's the run back is there, the peel is there. I mean, there's no more.
There's nowhere to hide. Yeah.
There's no way. No, I was going to say there's no way around the fact that your opponent can now hit whenever they want. So, okay.
Now, if they dead stuff the run back, then it suddenly looks like an okay idea.
Yep. Yeah, leave the red in the house to hit on your last shot, I guess.
Yeah, the other team's not going to guard it, so the danger is that at some point in time, though, they just split the rings and sit 2 on you. Probably not going to do it this early. Makes the run and gets the second one out. Now you're pretty much committed. You have to come around.
These 2 are playing really well.
Tori Koana going to wear out the replay machine at this rate.
And nice to see Nancy acknowledging that shot. I love to see when, even though we're trying desperately to beat each other out on the ice, you acknowledge, hey, that was a great shot. Steve needs to hide. It looks like he's done quite a good job there.
Well, there's
half open.
Still half open. You did hear him call. It was a little bit light. If he gets that back just to the front of the tee line, it's probably dead buried. It does create a teaser. There's a choice for Tori. She could play the run back again, and she did just make it, or you could go after the blue stone directly.
I don't think they hesitated much on this one. I think they both think the shot's there. He's starting to have a conversation with her about whether or not it's as easy as they thought.
Unless your Japanese is better than mine, we don't know what they're saying.
Well, it's my Japanese is it's a bit rusty. It's day-to-day stuff, so I pick up I pick up ideas and shorter things that they say to each other rather than the great big long sentences. So that's where I lose myself.
We know they're discussing the two options. I just don't know which one they're leaning to, and we won't know which one she's playing until she comes out.
Yeah.
She did just make the run back, and it's a shorter run back this time, and it's her own rock.
Mm-hmm.
Quieter weight, looks like she's going after shot rock directly. Makes the hit, comes across, and actually sits in front of her own stone.
No, I keep on saying it over and over. The confidence that she has kicking out of the hack and finding her target lines is just amazing. Really wonderful curling.
She has been impressive.
Mm-hmm. So it's good to see they battled all the way to the playoffs and they lost in the semis last week, and then they've done even better this week. Now they've made it all the way to the finals. So it's super, and I don't know whether they'll be in the Canadian curling circuit on an ongoing basis from now until maybe Christmas time, or whether they will end up going back home. I know that a lot of the foreign teams try to find 2 or 3 events that are, well, in Canada, you look for ones that are relatively near each other, because it is a little tricky if one tournament is in Nova Scotia and another one's in Saskatchewan and another one's in Ontario. But if they can find 2 or 3 in a row that are close together, they can play all of them, and as a one plane ticket kind of trip before they head home. So it's going to be interesting to see if we keep seeing these guys over and over again.
Nancy Martin and Steve Laycock would just like to see them miss something here this afternoon.
Mm-hmm. It would be nice, yeah.
For now, Steve looking at the double and try to roll all the way across to the corner guards.
Very nice.
Gets the double, does leave his shooter, again, probably at least half exposed. That's such a tough shot to roll that far with the weight that he had to throw to make the double, to try to control the roll into that spot. Did probably as well as you can expect to do, and it's probably not good enough. The shot still has to be made, though.
I think we're doing a run back, which will...
No, he's going after direct again.
Yeah,
he can see more of it than Tori could, and he's got more room to curl after the guard.
You're right, he's got
He's got more weight than she had, though, too. It's coming in nicely, though, from the hog line in. Makes the hit, rolls to the button.
Really impressive work. I really thought, based on where that new rock ended up, that they would try the run back, just so that as a backup plan, if the run back didn't work perfectly, they would at least get rid of the guard. But nope.
Well, this is the last stone. The guard didn't matter.
You're right. Sorry, of course. That was my thinking. I think, why don't they just use a shot that gives them more than one option as a result?
I see what you mean. It does get hard when they're going to the home end. There's always a rock left back there. That's the pre-positioned stone for the next time they're coming this direction.
Mm-hmm. That's why I have you here. All right, Nancy.
Just trying to get clear in her mind what she needs for ice to make this hit. Final stone here for Nancy Martin, trailing by 3, facing 1. Guess I probably should have pointed that out. Another difference here in doubles play. If if you blank the end, you lose the hammer. So they've got to take their single.
That's right.
Makes the hit, stays right there. Martin
I wondered
Laycock.
if that might happen. I was all ready to say what you just said, except I was thinking I would wait and see if, for any reason, that didn't stick around, and then we could say, hey, they don't get to keep the hammer. Welcome to mixed doubles. It's very rare to see a blank end in mixed doubles.
They might be happy to get rid of the hammer. It's been good for 3 points the other way so far.
You're right.
Koana and Aoki with a 2-point lead, and they will have last rock in the 5th.
On behalf of the volunteer board, the support team, and all the families who will be helped by this year's Sandra Schmirler Foundation Telethon, thank you for being a part of this historic moment. $1,126,014, a new record, exceeding our goal, and most importantly, countless families from St. John's to Victoria to Yellowknife and babies in over 100 hospitals in between will be impacted by your generosity. And we couldn't do it without the amazing partnerships we have with Curling Canada, TSN, and Net2Phone Canada. They connect you, our generous supporters, with so many of the Scotties participants and our volunteers on Telethon Day. A special thank you to Jocelyn and Brett for sharing little Luke Gallant's stories, and all of the families across this great country who shared stories of how Sandra's legacy has helped their little ones grow up and become champions. In each of the last 3 years, because of generous supporters like you, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has been able to give back $1 million to help babies in every province and territory. And this year's telethon will ensure we can continue that incredible momentum. Thank you for helping champions start small.
Thank you, Canada!
Well, with the hammer against them for the first 4 ends, Go Aoki has put on outstanding amount of pressure. And here with the hammer for the first time, Nancy Martin a chance to turn the tides, and she comes up a little short. So she's got 2 center guards. Hard to tell whether they're overlapped or not. There's a good look to hack in, you can tell.
Just edge on edge, I think.
Just edge on edge, so it might be available for a run later.
I guess the comment I was going to make had we watched the start of the shot was it's time to see if Nancy and Steve can start off the end with that razor sharp draw right to the back of the button that we saw 3 times in a row from Go and Tori. But okay, we're by the guard and into the house. Full 8.
They might have liked to get that a little tighter into the top 4 foot. There's still room to get around there. Room in the top of the rock in the top of the 8 foot on this ice is pretty much just a guard. Let me put you on the spot, David. You're trying to steal here. Are you coming right down to the back one, or do you need to get a rock in front of the tee line? And does it matter that the start of this end didn't work out so well for you?
Yeah, I think if you're going to try and steal, given where those 2 red rocks are, you come right in and try to challenge your opponent basically to remedy a situation. You kind of force their hand a bit. So I think that's what they're doing based on where Nancy's broom was. They are trying to draw the button basically.
Okay, so stay in front of the tee line then.
Yeah, if you can stay in front, but basically you want to be between the 2 reds. This looks very nice. Okay, hair heavy. But
had to get it by the stone at the top of the 8 foot though.
Absolutely.
You rub off that and you probably pop out into the open. So.
A heck of an effort. And still not a bad rock, but it does technically leave them an option to come right down and sit on an angle right on the shot they just threw, basically. So
could the double peel looks pretty easy though.
No, you're right. And it comes down to asking yourself which one would make the opponents sweat a little more. I think you're right though. This is the way to go.
There's not a lot of room in that 4 foot right now. You could open things up with a good shot here. Well, wow. She might be a little thin on the first one.
Yeah, she
needs to curl.
She set it a bit. Okay.
Gets it off the line probably enough that it shouldn't factor in much. Actually takes away that out-turn draw path, though.
Yeah, it still looks like they're coming the same way. So I guess they
think
feel
they're
like there's a gap. Oh, they're going to guard?
I would think so. You got to guard
Okay.
the red run back. And with that blue sitting over there, there's really no out-turn draw path. I think that Tori would need the out-turn draw to get to the corner of the blue and move it. So that out-turn draw is already gone. You guard the run back, and they probably have to peel the guards again.
It's not easy to judge the weight of the rocks as they're coming towards us, but when he let that go, it seemed like it was a little heavier than I would have thought for a guard. But you're right, it is certainly a perfect guard weight. And splitting the center line, not bad. Now, the question becomes...
Yeah, when you peel this, where are you sending it?
Mm-hmm.
If you peel it into the other blue... Yeah, I don't know which way you want to set it. You could straight peel it, but then they're just going to put it back. If you peel it towards the blue that's just biting the top of the 12-foot, is it good when it comes back into the rings, or is it not?
Mm-hmm. There are some choices to make here.
Yeah.
You could even try a dead straight run back. You'd remove the blue guard, but I think you just replace it. You need to literally hit it on the nose. So
you could double stuff and just remove 2 reds though and leave 3 blues in the rings. It'd be tempting here to just straight peel the guard, and that looks like that's what they're doing. If that guard was up a little higher, you could try to peel it towards the other blue and go over the top. But when they're that close, I think that blue is going to have to come back into the rings, and it could do more harm than good, probably. Just straight peel the guard for now and force Steve to put it back. It's not easy to throw a precise guard on this ice. It's very easy to over curl.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody thinks that short shots, guards, things in the free guard zone are easy, but keeping that weight just right is not easy at all.
Wow, and with this big curl, you've seen it on the draws coming into the house already. It looks like you've got a ton of room, and you sweep for curl, and it's so easy to over curl. And if you leave them the red run, I think they're going to play it.
Well, this one should be able to get back to the center line at least.
This is going to be quite a bit higher, though.
Okay.
You could play the tap on the red, I think, for sure.
Yeah, they seem to be deciding whether they're going to try and throw weight at it or just a simple tap back into the button.
Yeah, I don't think you can throw weight at it. He covered probably half of it anyway. Even if you tap it and leave it a little short, like if you just tap it to the other side of the center line full 4-foot, now you could always run that blue onto red onto blue, and it could be for a pile because your shooter's going to be in the rings too.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this is one of the longer conversations they've had about trying to decide their shots. It means there's more than one good option.
You're looking at playing a split on the red too. I don't know how that helps you, to be honest.
No, I like down weight, tapping straight back.
There's a lot of good options on the split, and including the tap, including what she just did, tap the ice. That's where I was talking about tapping it. You don't have to get it all the way to the blue, as long as you leave it on a good angle on that side.
But if you were to come straight back, literally to the face of the blue, and even if you bump the blue an inch or two, that's it's going to be hard to get rid of.
Yeah, that's perfect if you can do that. But I don't think you ever want to overthrow this. There's options if you just off the nose a little bit on the broom side and tap it where she just tapped the ice on the top of the 4 on the other side. I think with this weight, she's got to get awful close to the nose. She did.
What a shot. Really lovely. Boy, we thought it wasn't even going to curl to the nose, and it actually curled past the nose, I think.
Yep, just ever so slightly. She angled it back towards the blue.
Look at this. Wow. Yep.
And
amazing.
The important thing there, broke the existing corner freeze on that redstone. So Steve and Nancy have to be real careful here. There's room to get that blue out now, and it could be for a pile. They talked about coming in on top, but you might just make the shot easier if you do that.
Mm-hmm. It's a tricky situation because you're right. There's danger with 3 reds in the house, and the blue. I'm going to call it exposed.
Yeah, essentially. If you're going to throw that corner guard or corner freeze, why not just throw a straight guard? I mean, it's still only 5th shot. It's no different there than it is as a guard.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is their last shot of the end. I think they just want to lock it up, and right now one red is looking awfully nice. Even if you're Martin Laycock, I think there's no way to score without or at least you could lie one at the end of the shot, but you'd be giving your opponent an opportunity.
Well, I think what they're worried about is if they don't bring one in, is there something that they could run for three or four?
Mm-hmm.
The guard is awfully long. Could you get to the nose of that redstone from the out turn?
Oof. I wouldn't put it past them because I've seen
exactly.
Based on what I've seen and the finish of their shots, you wouldn't think so.
And that might be why they're looking at the corner freeze. If you corner freeze the red, they can't get to enough of the red to tap it back on the angle they'd need.
Mm-hmm.
But if you over curl it, they'll be able to come directly on the shot rock.
Where's it going to stop? Sit. Needs to sit.
Awfully high.
Okay. So
here's the question. You can get there.
Can they get to that red? Pop it.
For sure.
And it's worth it because it's a shot for 4.
And you know what? You don't even have to necessarily play it for 4. I mean, you only have to move it, a 1.5 feet for 3.
Yeah, you're right.
But I think you could throw enough weight to get the 4th one as well. And this was all set up by the last shot from Koana, not just that she made the tap, but actually broke there was an existing corner freeze at the back, moved that redstone just enough that there is room for that blue to clear.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. That kind of precision is not something you're supposed to expect in doubles. That's 4 players with a line collar and 2 brushers to make that kind of precision.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. But we're in the final, and this is one heck of a team. Here we go. Looks like it's narrow. Nope.
He's by the front. Once they're sure they're by the rock in the rings, he'll carve it from the other side. Touches the blue. Hit the first one a little thin, so he doesn't move it very far, but it's far enough to get 2.
Yeah, seemed like he needed a little bit more weight, but what a heck of a shot. Nevertheless, a good 2.
So they will take a 5-1 lead after 5 ends of play, and Martin and Laycock will have to take that last rock pack.
Handcraft Revolution.
Don't forget your brooms.
You got it.
Come on up. Well, what do you got? You got 1, you got 2, you got...
Just one more throw, please.
You make moments like these possible.
Sorry. Here we go.
Go Aoki throwing first to start off this 6th end again, and as we saw in the first 4, locks that first freeze onto the back blue stone. tough spot now for Martin and Laycock. They've already used their power play, have to generate some offense, and on top of that, you know that even if you score 2 or hopefully 3 here, Koana still have their power play to use, so it makes it real hard to steal 7.
Absolutely. It's and then to make things even more interesting, Go has just thrown another absolutely beautiful starting rock.
Yeah.
To fuse onto the nose of the set rock. Amazing.
There's a nice shot by Nancy Martin, and not just important to get the freeze there. She actually broke up the existing freeze, and you could see the angle is set up so that she could get the red by the blue at the back later on. And that's huge because they need extra points. They have to be able to clear those reds past the blues to the back.
Absolutely. All righty. Well, they need to basically just respond with a similar shot, I think, and we should be on our way. Okay.
Aoki on the brush. Looks like he's trying to get it to curl a little bit. Will come to rest. Full 8 foot. Fair to say, I think, David, that was a scoreboard shot. If we plug up the house.
Manage the scoreboard. Yeah.
Exactly. Keep something in front of the tee line. It's too easy to start falling behind the tee line with everything. If they bump off, you can't. You can always use that rock where it is. If you're heavy, it's, I think it's Russ has always said, it's hard to make a rock better once it's in the back of the 8 foot.
That's right. Yeah. No, this is actually a really handy rock. I often tell some of my younger curlers, if they're playing mixed doubles, that I don't mind if it's sort of the top of the 4 foot. It might not be shot at the moment, but boy, there's lots of things you can do with that. Whereas if it's the back of the 4 foot, or the dreaded tick off the side of the set rock and just sort of sit there, just becomes a big old target or a backstop. So,
well, and it's a problem for Martin and Laycock where it is. For Steve to try to pass it by everything, he's got to roll out into the open too.
That's right. I think, they've got to try and find a way to build some points here. So there, I'm watching where Nancy's putting the broom, and I'm trying to decide what the goal is.
I think with that broom, I'm looking at the same thing you are. I think he's trying to get inside the nose on that and push it back.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of those shots where the doubles discipline, it's a little tougher, because if you had 4 players and 2 brushers, the second it got by the guard, you'd switch to the other sweeper and try to get that to the inside. And it's just too hard to do that when you're the only sweeper there and trying to dance around it. So they tap the red up to the freeze.
Yeah, again, it was not a bad shot. I kind of wondered what their plan was, because it's not really so much about where the rocks are in the 4 foot now as what can we do, or what was the plan with the shooter? Were they planning to leave it right there, or did they want to sort of move it a little bit one way or the other so that they had access? Because really that whole side is getting so clogged up now that I'm not sure a lot of good things can happen.
No, I do think they wanted to get past the nose. If you hit it on the broom side and roll out a little bit, Tori just removes that stone from play, so they needed to keep it under cover, but they had to get to the inside of the red, and they didn't. They lined everything up in the 4 foot.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised to see this just be a guard.
Oh, it's got to stop.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they were calling the guard. That's a little tighter than they would have liked.
One, two, three, four, five, 6 rocks in a row.
If you hit half a rock on the red one, how many red ones leave? Maybe
Or
all
is
of
it-
them, eh?
Is it time to try to do something with that center line guard? I don't know.
I don't know that you can. Scoreboard,
No.
you might need that guard
Yeah.
actually to protect your end.
You're
But if you're half on the red, it should drag a little bit. 2 reds are leaving for sure, and it might pop the stone at the top of the button out into the open. I don't
half
think
of
any
a
blues
red.
are leaving.
At least one red's leaving, if not 2 or 3. Yeah. The only question is, will it leave red shot?
Well, I think that red at the top of the 4 foot is popping out a little bit. It's got to move over a little bit, I think, because the first 2 are going to drag. I'm not 100% sure how hard he's throwing it, but with the broom, I've got to think this is coming.
I agree with you.
Boy, I'm not sure he got out to the broom. Is he going to get by the guard? No.
So now what?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
The angles in the house right now are better for Martin and Laycock than they are for Koana and Aoki. So they're going to try to move something, but they don't have to move it very far.
Is there a way they can come in with the intern and just tap the nose of the red in the top of the 4 foot and move the blue back so they're sitting 2 and make that raise a whole lot less effective? It's a tough one.
Yeah, because no matter how you're moving that blue, you're moving it towards the red at the back. That blue's still never leaving if you leave a jam possibility, and you'd hate to leave a triple on the reds.
Or another well-placed guard. A rock that gets in the way.
Yeah, what do you guard, though?
What is it that we think our opponent will want to do?
You guard the run back that he just played. They can always play half a rock on the red stone that's at the top of the button. And again, the 2 reds in the 4 foot leave. You'd be sitting 3. If you guard that, they've still got the same run back. I think you have to try to change one of the angles, but I'm not sure which one. You maybe try to just come down to the face of the red at the top of the 12 and move it over about 3 or 4 inches so that it kind of protects the ones in the 4 foot, and then the red-blue angle.
Yeah, or I was thinking split the center line in the 8 foot so that
come under.
Yeah,
that might work too.
The red-blue combo at the top of the house no longer has any value.
Yeah.
We're coming the other way, so you and I are not...
Well, I think they're playing what I was... Well, I thought they were. This is a straight guard. If they were playing what I was talking about, they would have been sweeping that. So they're going to guard the tap in the house, or the hit in the house, and leave them that same run-back attempt. The red onto blue, have it drag into the one at the top of the 4 foot. Now, the problem for Martin and Laycock now is that guard's just a little farther over off the center line, and that red at the top of the 4 foot, I think it's going to pop over there, but I'm not sure how far, and that guard could still protect it. I don't know what else you got, though. You got to try to move a couple of reds here, and hopefully you've got an angle somewhere to run onto the one that's left.
Nancy's giving him a little more ice than she did on the last shot, and they seem to be thinking they want to hit half of the red. And this is not on the guard this time.
Might be a little thinner than half, but that should work. Boy, they didn't get any kind of pop on the red one, and what a bad break, because they stayed frozen to it, but it's lined up to the one at the back of the 8. One more look at this. It actually dragged the first blue so hard that the red didn't go anywhere. And you're still frozen to it, but you can't get it out. Look at where it goes. That's a bad break.
Well, they definitely knew what they wanted to try, and I think it almost worked perfectly, but when you get into issues of drag and angles, sometimes you get a little bit surprised, especially when you're throwing a lot of weight.
Yeah.
And there were how many rocks involved in that collision? At least 5. So here we go. There's some more weight coming now. This is the last shot of the end for...
Just trying to reduce the amount of shrapnel back there, and actually rolls that to a very good spot. If there was any chance, if there was any chance of getting that red out before, there's no chance of getting it out now.
It's a backstop.
He was actually thinking of the flat double, but by rolling to where he did.
Yep, and it's funny. I don't know if you noticed Tori's face, that she kind of grimaced as he kicked out of the hack because she had to try and catch up and stay with the rock. She was funny. I think she knew he was throwing weight, but she kind of got caught there. There you go. Come on, you can do it. Awesome.
Well, how important is the deuce here?
It's totally vital.
Then you got to run.
If you give up a steal or even just take one, I think we're in big trouble.
Then I think you have to run the guard. You're running the guard back. You try to just rub the one on the button and have it come back and clip the one at the back of 8. And that's the only thing I see for 2.
Okay.
And you could throw that 1,000 times and you might not get it at all.
You don't think you could hit the blue on the inside of center and then roll the shooter onto the 4-foot enough to score a second point?
Depends where those jam at the back. Like, it maybe.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking, I was just thinking like,
I know what you mean.
Backline weight. Then because the one you hit should count, and the shooter is the thing that's got to be the second
trick will
point,
be getting the shooter in far enough to outcount the redstone that's going to jam at the back, and it looks tough to me.
Yeah, well, it'll almost get out of the 4-foot, not quite, but
it won't quite.
Well, here comes Nancy.
Rocks are 11 inches wide. These are brand new rocks, so that stone at the back isn't all the way to the back of the 8-foot. So it's still going to have a sliver of the 4-foot. She's going to have to roll in.
I think she's trying what I said, but it's not curling enough.
To have a chance, and
one blue.
So Martin and Laycock picking up a single point here in the 6th. It's 5-2 now. 7th end about to get underway, and we'll see if Koana and Aoki use their power play when we get back.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Well, and to no one's surprise, we see the power play as we start things off in the 7th end here. Martin and Laycock down by 3. Going to need to steal 3 points in 2 ends. Really, they're going to have to ignore the rocks on the corner, throw the center guard. Tough to steal 2 in this end when things start off on the corner, but if they can set up a steal here, steal a 2 when you have to start everything in the middle in the 8th end, there is a possibility.
Yeah, you could put a centerline guard, or you can even come into the house.
You could, yeah. They can't hit it.
Top button, and it has to be left alone. Well, it can be moved, I guess. But they've decided to put the centerline guard, which is great. And then the next Next one, the goal will be to come right around and start filling up the center of the ice.
Now, there's the no tick zone is not used in doubles play. Will they play the split on the center?
Interesting idea. Or just put another one in the house.
You could.
Or come around the guard that Nancy and Steve just placed for you.
This looks like the split.
What a great shot.
Yeah.
Now there's a lovely two-step guard in the front of their rock in the house. Makes it even harder.
Don't know how much that one matters because Steve and Nancy really can't play out to the corner. Do you have to, I think, probably throw a long center here and then hope that they jam it on something playing the peel. If you come in too tight with the center guard, it's just too easy to clear everything when they peel it.
So once this rock comes to rest, the peel game is on. It'll be perfectly fine to start removing things, which I suppose will be the plan.
Yeah, and I would say that's
need.
Too tight. You can peel that from the outturn side. No danger, really. You'd have to hit it paper thin to jam it on anything. Actually, you saw them talking, but we might be able to come off the back end of our own guard, get another one into the rings.
That's right.
At the very least, peel a few guards. The corner guards aren't helping them at this point in time. So
he's always thinking. He's always saying, "Okay, now we can peel it, but what else can happen here? Let's have a look." And he's right. The angles are there, but boy, you have to throw some pretty big weight in order to make that happen.
That's why I would have said that guard needed to be up higher. Where it is, they can run it underneath the blue stone on the other corner easily enough. You'd have to be paper thin to risk jamming it. Well, not going to be thin. Catches the second
there you
one.
Go.
And does spin the shooter into the house.
Look at this shot. My goodness. Absolutely amazing. If you'd call them lucky, except you could see them looking at it when they were getting ready to play the shot.
Tori Koana, again, wearing out the replay machine.
Now these two are on fire. All right, Steve. So they're coming down and trying to sit. We'll call that a pocket. Between the two reds, and so you snuggle down into that area and hope you can be shot rock.
Yeah, I'd have been tempted to throw one more guard. Boy, this has got to hold. He's got to be shot rock here. It doesn't do any good second, and this is well short. Well, now for Koana and Aoki.
Split the house.
Yeah, I think you want to be biting the forefoot so that the come around on the corner guard doesn't do them any good.
Right. So those lovely 4 action figures on the forefoot in our house here, we can just be underneath the armpit of the blue fellow, and we'll be all set.
Yeah.
They do seem to be talking, interestingly, about where they're going.
It's probably just a question of the depth, right? If you're in the front of the forefoot, they could still play the hit and try to roll all the way across the house. If you're in the back of the forefoot, there's the freeze. They might be throwing this through. it looked like she came out with a lot of weight. I don't know whether she was just heavy or if they were throwing it deep on purpose.
Maybe just concentration.
Maybe.
Well, there's a place to freeze now.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't look like they're doing it.
You can still freeze on the other corner now and hope that you got a chance to double this one out in the next one. If you freeze that one here, they'll just try to blast it out. And one thing we've seen, these are brand new rocks here in play in Martensville this year. The striking bands are very lively. It's really hard to put any kind of freeze on there good enough that they can't blast it out. This has a lot of room. Steve Laycock has dropped off of it outside the hog line. A lot of room and maybe a lot of weight as well. Came up short on the first one and overcompensated here through the back.
That's too bad. It would be nice to at least make them do something. I was watching it coming down thinking it seems like it's not curling enough, and then it'll ultimately be an easy target for red, but
well, if anything, you've created a problem for them. Is where do you put the next rock?
That's right. And now what? How do we position ourselves to not give them any chance to take advantage?
The freeze in the corner doesn't do any good now. I think you try to come to the front of the 4-foot on the other side and force them to have to move the rock. No, she's coming back to the same side, so going wider even still. Going to force them to play the freeze to the back one, and then Go will try to blast it out.
Yeah, she's trying to throw T-line weight, I think. He hasn't even considered sweeping this.
No, he don't want to be that deep. They don't want to give her something that they could jam on when they have to blast.
There you go.
Throw it wider, make her freeze the back one. And then if she locks it on absolutely perfect, Go Aoki will come out of the hacks at about Mach 3 and just try to blast it out.
Absolutely. This is a pretty nice position to be in when you've got hammer and a 5-2 lead in the 7th end.
Steve Laycock looking at a pipe dream type of a shot.
Well, he's just saying to her, we have to freeze there or we have to go in the pocket. And I think you have to freeze to shot rock. I don't think
he's looking
if you go in the pocket, they'll just ignore it and then throw another one into the 4-foot.
Yeah, he was looking at the big around the horn to get to the pocket. Looking at
I see.
The wick off the rock that was just thrown, come to the back, hit the one at the back 8-foot and try to spin up into the pocket.
Of course. I don't know why I didn't see that.
Using physics, it might be there.
Absolutely.
But you could throw this shot 10,000 times and probably never make it.
I hope she tries it because it's an awfully fun looking thing to try. Just tick the first red.
Yeah. Well, you know what though? If you just freeze the back one, you know that it's going to get blasted out and you're done, right? So you may as well try it. It's a slim chance, but it's a slim chance on a rock that's at least in your own hands. Whereas if you locked on a perfect freeze, you need your opposition to miss a pretty makeable shot.
And if you make it, you'll be on TSN for the rest of your life. So, all right, let's go.
Final stone here, 7th end, and possibly for the game for Nancy Martin, Steve Laycock facing 4. Already down by 3 without last rock, looking for the thin hit on the red, going around the horn, and it's a big horn. This is Usually when you see this around the horn shot, all 3 rocks are close together in the 4-foot. Not the case here. One in the 12-foot, one in the back 8, and the other one all the way over in the 8-foot on the other side of the tee line.
Mm-hmm.
Through the big rotation, that'll give her a little more action if she makes the contact right, but she's still got to hit the first one.
Oh, that's too bad.
And it goes right through the back. It's 4 points already, and technically that means Martin and Laycock are already out of rocks before Aoki throws the last one. So
they've just
Tori
decided
Koana,
to concede. Mm-hmm.
Tori Koana and Aoki are the champions here at the 2024 Aly Jenkins Memorial Mixed Doubles event here in Martensville.
Well, congratulations to both teams. That was great to see them both reach the final, but I got to say, they played an incredible game, and I guess the whole tournament, frankly. It's really amazing to see this young team play. I hope we see them a lot more in the future. And here's Nancy continuing to try.
They might be out here for a while to see if that, if that around the horn could go.
I would want to say it might be a bit cruel, but I was going to say, Nancy, let them try it, to see, because the way that they're shooting these days, it wouldn't be surprising if she came close. But what a wonderful game to watch, and a pleasure to see this young team. Wow.
Outstanding event, outstanding ice. A lot of curling yet to come this season on the curling stadium and on the curling stadium Martensville, because there are events, and I think Jerry was telling me a couple of events even after Christmas this year. There's curling all weekend. This weekend, there's still some curling going on in Vernon, and every weekend between now and Christmas, a few events after Christmas as well. So you might want to bookmark the Curling Stadium channels and Curling Zone on your YouTube channel. A lot of curling action, a lot of championship curling action this fall and into the spring. My name's Shawn Joyce. David Wills joined me here for this final. It's an outstanding final. We were glad you were here all weekend long, and look forward to seeing you throughout the season.
Thanks, Shawn. It's been a pleasure, and I look forward to working with you again.
All right.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
SaskTel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? SaskTel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.